The difference between President Trump and President Biden is night and day. In just 4 years, the Biden-Harris administration allowed 8 million illegal aliens into the United States. Of that 8 million, the Biden-Harris administration releases at least 6 million illegal aliens into American communities, while nearly 2 million evaded CBP apprehension and entered as gotaways. These 8 million include at least 99 aliens on the terrorist watch list. 99 potential terrorists were released into our neighborhoods and communities.
Welcome to Liberty Watchtower, your front row seat to the pulse of American politics. Here, we cut through the noise to bring you sharp, timely updates, in-depth analysis, and bold commentary on the issues shaping the nation. Whether it's breaking news from Capitol Hill or grassroots movements making waves across the country, Liberty Watchtower keeps you informed, engaged, and ready to think critically. Subscribe and stay tuned. Freedom starts with awareness, shaping national identity, economic priorities, and public safety. Over the past 2 presidential administrations, the United States has witnessed 2 starkly different approaches to border security and immigration enforcement. The contrast between President Donald Trump's hardline stance and President Joe Biden's more lenient and humanitarian-focused policies has reignited debate over how the nation should manage its borders and who should be allowed to enter and remain in the country. President Trump's administration emphasized strict enforcement of immigration laws, expanded physical barriers at the southern border, and implemented controversial measures such as the Remain in Mexico policy, which required asylum seekers to wait outside the U.S. while their cases were processed. These policies aimed to reduce illegal immigration and discourage unauthorized border crossings through deterrence and rapid removal.
The difference between President Trump and President Biden is night and day. In just 4 years, the Biden-Harris administration allowed 8 million illegal aliens into the United States. Of that 8 million, the Biden-Harris administration releases at least 6 million illegal aliens into American communities, while nearly 2 million evaded CBP apprehension and entered as gotaways. These 8 million include at least 99 aliens on the terrorist watch list. 99 potential terrorists were released into our neighborhoods and communities. 8 million illegal aliens, that's like a city the size of New York City. This unprecedented surge of illegal immigration has resulted in millions of otherwise removable aliens being allowed to remain in the United States. And understand this. This was done deliberately, intentionally, starting on day 1 of the previous administration. Day 1, the Biden administration said, we will no longer have people wait in Mexico, remain in Mexico while we evaluate their claim. We will no longer build the wall, and when you get here, you will not be detained, you will be released. And those 3 intentional, deliberate decisions are what led to the 8 to 10 million entering our country. The American people gave President Trump and House Republicans a mandate to restore immigration integrity, security, and enforcement. And President Trump is carrying out what he told us he was going to do. But resources are needed to address the chaos caused by the Biden-Harris administration's open border policies. Today, we act to improve or to provide the administration with the resources it needs, pursuant to existing authorities, to ensure secure borders and safe American communities. The committee's reconciliation title provides a total of $81 billion in funding to the Department's Homeland Security, Justice, Health and Human Services, and others. For example, the legislation provides $45 billion to ensure U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement can detain an average daily population of at least 100,000 aliens. The bill provides $8 billion to fund additional ICE personnel, including 10,000 enforcement and removal officers, 1,000 Homeland Security investigations agents, 750 support personnel, all to carry out immigration enforcement. The committee's reconciliation bill provides $14.4 billion to ICE to support the transportation and removal of at least 1 million aliens annually for the next 4 years. The text also provides $858 million for hiring and retention bonuses to the good men and women, officers in ICE and agents and attorneys who implement and help secure our border.
In contrast, upon taking office in January 2021, President Biden reversed many of these Trump-era measures. His administration terminated construction of the border wall, ended the Remain in Mexico policy, and adopted a more lenient approach that included allowing many migrants to enter the U.S. while their asylum claims were adjudicated, supporters of Biden's policies argue that they reflect America's humanitarian values and international obligations, while critics contend they have led to a breakdown in border control and a surge in unlawful migration. According to critics, including many in Congress, this shift in policy has resulted in what they describe as an unprecedented surge of illegal immigration. Estimates suggest that since 2021, approximately 8 million unauthorized migrants have entered the United States. Among them are reportedly individuals on terrorist watch lists and others who evaded Border Patrol, entirely raising serious national security concerns. As a response, lawmakers aligned with President Trump have proposed a sweeping legislative package aimed at restoring what they call immigration integrity, security, and enforcement. The proposal includes over $81 billion in new funding for immigration and border enforcement agencies, such as ICE Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and the Department of Homeland Security, expanded detention capacity, the hiring of thousands of new personnel, and updated court infrastructure. Importantly, it also introduces new fees for immigration applicants to offset the financial burden on taxpayers. This proposed legislation is not just a policy adjustment, it is a fundamental shift back toward strict border enforcement. Supporters argue it is necessary to reverse what they see as a crisis fueled by the Biden administration's open border policies. Critics, however, may view it as a return to punitive and exclusionary practices that failed to address the root causes of migration or uphold human rights. Understanding the motivations, mechanisms, and potential impacts of this proposal is crucial for anyone interested in U.S. immigration policy, national security, and the balance between enforcement and compassion in American governance.
Before most aliens can be removed, they must go through an immigration court proceedings, so the committee text not only provides $1.32 billion to ICE for additional trial attorneys who represent the government in immigration courts, but also $1.25 billion to the Department of Justice to hire 200 immigration judge teams, as well as necessary support staff and courtroom resources. Also included in the committee bill is $500 million for the Department of Justice to combat drug trafficking, including fentanyl and other illegal drug use. In addition to funding immigration enforcement, the committee's reconciliation text also raises more than $77 billion through fees. The existing fees in the immigration system have not been updated, in some cases for decades, and in many cases, fees have never been applied at all. This system has left these agencies with funding shortfalls paid for by American taxpayers. The fees included in this bill will allow agencies to achieve cost recovery and limit their reliance on taxpayer funding. They will also allow us to make the necessary investments in immigration enforcement in a fiscally responsible manner. For example, the reconciliation bill requires aliens who file an asylum application to pay a fee of not less than $1,000. Congressional Budget Office has estimated this fee will raise $748 million over 10 years. The bill also requires illegal aliens in the United States pursuant to temporary protected status to pay a $500 fee, and those on TPS who apply to renew their employment authorization to pay a fee of $550. CBO has estimated those fees to raise $2 billion and $4.7 billion respectively over the next decade. The bill requires aliens who register for diversity immigrant visa lottery to pay a $250 fee, which CBO has estimated will raise billions of dollars in additional revenue. These and other resources and fees in this reconciliation text will ensure that the Trump administration has the adequate resources to enforce the immigration laws in a fiscally responsible way. The committee's bill also provides resources to improve the activities of agencies in the rulemaking process. These resources will make agencies more efficient and effective by requiring that they adequately account for the cost imposed by rulemaking activity and by consolidating authorities that are currently spread across the government. The measures in our package are necessary to provide the resources to improve immigration, enforcement, and regulatory improvement. I urge all members to support the committee's reconciliation package, and I yield back